I've talked to you about riding my bike and how I do that to get some exercise. And so I just want to parlay off that idea. A couple of weeks ago, I got tired of going out the route I was typically taking because it was full of trucks that were full of dust, and it was getting kind of precarious. So I decided to take another route. Now, I just want to liken that to how we read the Word. When I took the other route, I had to discover it on my own. So instead of going west, I decided to go north. And I turned on a street and I started to pursue the travels I was going to go. And I based it off time. I ride out for a half an hour. I ride back for a half an hour. Now, I don't know what's ahead of me. I have no idea what's there. I just keep riding and I look at landmarks and I don't really know what they are or what's going on with it. And I finally get to my destination of riding for a half an hour and I turn around and then I ride back and I see all those things that I saw on the way out, on the way back in the reverse. And so the second day that I make that route, I start to notice a few particulars. Hey, there is a grassy swamp area over here. Oh, there's a building that sells this over here. Oh, wait, I think I know what comes next. It's going to be this. Oh, wait. And you start to get more familiar. The third day, fourth day, second week, that trip becomes far more familiar. Now I know where a certain piece of furniture was illegally discarded. And I know what building comes when and what's around the bend. And I know what is down at the end of this by the train tracks. And I can better describe the trip and know what's coming next if somebody was with me. It's been maybe 2.5 weeks now, and I pretty much know the mile markers. I know what's going on in context of the whole trip. I know when to expect more dust and wind, and I know when to expect more traffic and when it gets easier. I know the road conditions now. My tires, they're fat. When they get on rough road, it's harder to pedal. I know when they get smooth riding. And so the same thing can be said of somebody and their time in the Word. The first time through, you're not going to recognize where you're headed. You're not going to know the landmarks. You're not going to know exactly what's happening. You're going through blind. You have no idea when you're reading, for instance, Isaiah, that Jesus is going to quote Isaiah later. You don't know what's coming around the bend. But the more times you traverse through the Word, the more apparent the path becomes. And the more you're able to detect the nuances of the trip. And so when you're talking to people about the faith who have only passed through the Bible maybe once, they aren't going to have a grip on the trip like you do, who's passed through it, a half a dozen or a dozen times. You're going to miss it. And that's why the readers and hearers of the Word who have taken time to be in it, they understand concepts that people who have not had the same amount of time in the Word can carry. And that's why you have people who can dabble in heavier meat in the Word, and you have people who can only take the superficial traverse. All are necessary. All are part of the journey, and everybody has to take them. So there's no judgment on the person this is their first time down the road, or there's no honor given to someone who's been through it 20 times. None. It's just a matter of what they see and understand relative to the full context of the Word compared to what someone else might see or understand who's only been through once. In the end, it's just something to encourage you that you get in the Word and you bring it into your life daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you can, not by obligation or demand, as you can do it, and it will begin to unfold for you, first in a very general way and then more specifically. Have a great week. Love you.